I had confirmation as I was coming here that Portsmouth City Council are going to debate selective licensing next Tuesday.
If there is an intention for this item to be considered now, I will be abstaining myself from the chamber. Okay, and I'm asked, yes.
Order. May I just bear patience for a few seconds, because what is about to happen may not look great, as essentially half the councillors leave. I just wanted to put on record something in the hope that this can help. This was going to be an amendment I would put in case this got debated.
Sorry, Councillor, I'm getting, hold on a second, from everyone. Thank you. Sorry, he's saying we can't do that. So do you want to expand on that one?
Lord Mayor, if you're taking the expressed view that you cannot preside over the next item, you cannot have a precursor to the debate about that item while you're still presiding and others who've got an interest.
Okay.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. As you have said that you have a conflict of interest in this item when we were leaving, and the Deputy Lord Mayor has done so as well, my understanding is that the tradition of the Council is that we look to former Lord Mayors to chair this section of the meeting.
Sorry, Leader. Yeah, we've already sorted that out. If you just want to go, if you think you've got to go, that's all you need to do. Okay. For those that need to leave, leave now.
Okay. That way. The Mason's got to go. Just huge.
Thank you for everyone. Obviously now, as the Lord Mayor mentioned, we don't have the Lord Mayor presiding or the Deputy Lord Mayor presiding, so obviously there's a legal requirement now to ask for a proposer and seconder to nominate someone to perform the chairing role who's not conflicted. So if someone could kindly propose someone for chair for this meeting. Okay, and that's seconded. Councillor Jones, do you accept that nomination? Are there any other nominations, please? Okay. Yeah, well, Councillor Jonas is now going to be the chair for this item.
Well, members, first of all, let me... Well, before you, Darren, please, you'll have to excuse if I'm a bit slow on this Monopoly board, as certain members of you know how IT and electrically, embarrassed I am.
Thank you, I've never had this in 14 years, so forgive me if I don't know the rules. Thank you, Councillor Jonas, and it's good to have you back, albeit for hopefully not very long. I just wanted to say before we begin, because of the situation that we're in, and you're now in, Councillor Jonas, just your indulgence for a couple of minutes as the Cabinet Member for Housing. The situation is this. I'm fully aware of Councillor Corkery's comments and social media posts about all this, and I understand that. Just before this motion was published, and Councillor Corkery can go to the Director of Housing. Okay, well, all I'm saying is that as an administration, I've asked officers to go away and actually look at...
Councillor Thomas, although I appreciate what you're trying to say, apparently is out of order at the moment, so if we'd like to retain your seat.
Back.
Thank you.
I'm trying to foreshorten the debate.
I'm now going to I'll now call upon the proposer, Councillor Corkery, to present and speak to his motion.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm formally proposing a motion and then wish to make a point of order.
Have you got a seconder?
I wish to make a point of order on that point. I'd like to propose a point of order to suspend standing orders to allow us to change the seconder to this motion. The reason for that is that the seconder that we originally proposed has been unable to participate in the debate due to advice that we have taken from legal services. I think there seems to be quite widespread opinion across the council and members that I've spoken to that this advice is unusual and unprecedented, and I think it would be a shame if the result was that it was going to curtail debate about this issue, which is obviously a lot of public interest about today. So I'd ask members to support this. Well, okay, I'll propose that George Fielding will second the motion instead.
Surely, first of all, we've got to go for the suspension of...
Yeah, you need, is someone seconding the proposal to suspend?
Oh, is someone seconding the proposal to suspend?
And who's, okay.
Can you confirm that again, George?
Yes, I formally confirm suspending, seconds to suspend standing orders.
Thank you. Councillor Sanders.
I thank your indulgence again, Councillor Jonas. Just to make a very brief statement. Because this would require suspending standing orders, which I know from talking to colleagues across the chamber is very difficult and creates a whole range of precedent, I would say this. I have already asked council officers to look at selective licensing as one way of trying to make the private rented sector easier and safer. There are pros, there are cons. I've had significant officer advice about this. I remain open-minded about the suspension of standing orders. If this goes ahead, I will put down an amendment to that effect. But I think given where we are and given the need to make the private rented sector easier and safer, and selective licensing may be a way of doing that, I thought before we went to this unprecedented situation, it was just useful to let colleagues know.
Thank you, Councillor Saunders. Councillor Smith.
Sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused because I didn't think we were in debate. And although Councillor Sanders has just given a speech, I'm not sure what point we are at the process. So could somebody enlighten me where we are in the process with this?
No. My understanding of where we are now, currently, Chair, is that obviously we've had a proposer and a seconder to suspend Standing Order 32A, I'm assuming, regarding seconders for notice of motions. I think Councillor Sanders, with the Chair's indulgence, just wanted to clarify the position of the administration before that vote, but there's not a debate. We're now having to go to that vote just to find out whether actually there is going to be a subsequent discussion. So, Chair, if you want.
Fellow councillors, can we go to the vote on whether to suspend standing orders? All those in agreement? What?
Okay, sorry, Councillor Bosher, yeah. Do you want to say something?
It's on the suspension of standing orders. One minor correction to Councillor Corkery. Actually, this isn't unprecedented. This has happened quite a lot in the past, in the fact that we've had a lot of issues like this. But I have to say, I am very, very concerned that we have something on the order paper here today through, let's call it an administrative error in this particular instance. The advice from legal is the fact that this seconder can't actually go forward. What this is actually doing by looking to suspend standing orders so that we can chop and change who proposes and seconds notice of motion on order paper, I think sets this council down a very dangerous road of a precedent if we are not careful.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Just to clarify, obviously it is a standing order that technically can be suspended. There are a few that can't, but this one, obviously, it's down to the will of those remaining members in the chamber whether they wish to set the standing order aside. Yeah, simple majority, yes.
Councillor Pater-Harity, got a query?
I did indicate to speak on the same issue because fundamentally we could have actually avoided this had the motion have gone to Peter Balfour a lot earlier, you know, and rules are rules, I'm afraid.
What we're going to do now then is go to the vote, councillors, as to whether there should be a suspension of standing orders. All those in favour, please indicate.
Sorry, so just to clear, okay, there's a few orders.
Those against standing orders, suspending standing orders, please.
majority to suspend orders.
That leaves us.
That means, in accordance with your standing orders, in the absence of a bona fide seconder being able to put their secondership, as it were, the motion is abandoned for today. Obviously, it can be resubmitted afresh, but our rules do not allow this matter to be debated today in that situation. So we would, with your indulgence, Lord Mayor, you go to the next item.